Welcome everyone back to the European Journeyman Save. In today's episode, we have two fixtures, one in the DFB Pokal against Bayern Munich, and then one in the Bundesliga against top of the league. Is it actually Red Bull Leipzig or is it just RB Leipzig? Is it not like Rasenball or something? Rasenball. I think it's weirdly not actually Red Bull. Their nicknames is the Red Bulls, but I actually think it's not technically, and they play at Red Bull Arena and they've got the Red Bull logo, but I actually think it's actually not technically Red Bull, which is odd. Anyway, we've got RB Leipzig. We'll just call them RB. Keep it political. So since you last left us, things have been going a lot better. We beat obviously Union Berlin in the league. Since then, we actually beat Tottenham in the Europa League. We also beat Dynamo Kiev and then Breidablik. A team from Iceland in the Europa League. Actually, we drew with Kiev, my mistake. So a draw, but 2 wins in the Europa League, which puts us third in the group. So we're looking very good for that top 8 finish. In the league, we drew with Mainz. Not a great result. We then beat Bayer Leverkusen 3-0 very comfortably. We beat Stuttgart 4-0. As you can see, Szoboszlai scoring plenty of goals. We got a little bit lucky to beat bottom of the league Osnabrück 2-1. We did rely on a couple sending offs to help us out. And then this takes us, and then we beat Sandhausen in the second round of the cup 3-1. Again, some goals from Nunez and Kuol. So it's taken us to the third round. Unfortunately, the board want us to get quarterfinals. We have got pretty much the toughest draw we could have ever hoped for. To be fair, Dortmund got Leipzig, so there's a couple tough draws all around. Obviously, there's still some pretty easy teams in it, like Hansa Rostock, for example, is still in the cup. They actually beat Hamburg, who are also a second-tier side at this point, so I guess it's not too crazy. If we can win this, there's a good chance we could get to the final. There's a good chance we could win the whole cup, but we have got a very tough game. We did play Bayern, obviously, last episode in the league. We lost 1-0, so hopefully today we can get a little bit of revenge. And this is the team we got for it to hopefully try and do that. So we've got Penders in goal, back four of Zeki Khan, Eric Burl, Hassan and Brown, Escobar and Martin in midfield, and then an attacking three of Yildirim, Szoboszlai, Diao on the left, and then Darwin Nunez up top. As you can see, we've been scoring a lot more goals. Szoboszlai, Diao and Nunez all on 6, Yildirim on 3. Kuol started to get some goals as well, as has Mapunda, and some of our defenders are starting to score a few bit more goals as well. So everyone in the starting line has got a goal already this season. So we are scoring a little bit more. We are still subject to conceding a goal, which is the worry. I think we need to improve defensively. I think goalkeeper and a ball-winning midfielder would be the priorities number one. But form is a lot better now. We are looking much, much better. We are at home. So hopefully we can get a win here. Hopefully they've rotated the squad a little bit for a cup game as well, and we can progress in the cup. Obviously, the cup isn't our one and only objective. It is probably the third one we're most interested in. Obviously, winning the Europa League does get you Champions League, so we would like to win the Europa League. Also, we just like to win a trophy. It's fun to win a trophy. The league, obviously, our main focus. We want to try and get in the top 4. The board would be happy just with getting in the Europa Conference, but I think we need to be kicking on trying to get into the Champions League. Obviously, the club finished 5th last year, so it's surprising that they're kind of taking a step back. Excuse me, lost my voice a little bit there. Happy to take a step back and almost finish lower than that. But we don't want to do that. We want to be getting in the Champions League. And I think we're looking a lot better now. We are 4th in the league as it stands with a game in hand over Freiburg, who are 3rd. So if we were to win our game in hand, we would go 3rd in the league. So we're looking good. Zeki Khan plays in Darwin Nunez. Had to be offside. I thought he was going for a shot, but instead he's passed it into Darwin Nunez's feet. He had to be offside. He was offside. It's been disallowed. If you're wondering about the hat, it's because I need a haircut. So you might also some previous episodes. The hair was a little bit untamed, a little bit wild. So we're just rocking the hat till we get a bit of a trim. But I don't know when that'll be. So you probably see the hat for a bit. Anyway, it was getting a little bit wild. So just calms it down with a little Adidas cap. Plus, I feel like a lot of German managers wear caps, so I'm kind of like role playing the cap. Besides Klopp, I can't think of one. Yeah, maybe just Klopp. I feel like Tuchel also wears a cap. So there's two. There's 2 German managers. I'm not a German manager, but I am a Bundesliga manager. So there you go. So maybe I'm just cosplaying. Anyway, Yildirim into Darwin Nunez. I think it was Nunez on the end of it anyway. Unfortunately, his effort goes wide. And we've looked the better team here. We're definitely looking like we're creating a bit more. And to be fair, when we played Bayern earlier, it wasn't the case that we were the worst team. We just couldn't score. So hopefully not the same will happen today. Yildirim gets his chance, hits the post. Brown whips it back in. Diao knocks it in. Unfortunately goes and grazes the top of the bar. That was a really good chance for Yildirim to put us 1-0 up. I do think we are missing a really good out-and-out striker. It's a shame Soboslai's playing so well because he's only on a 1-year deal. Well, I guess it's not a shame he's playing well, but anyway, as we whip it in, I thought we were going to get something there, but their keeper's come out and collected it. Yeah, he's only on a 1-year deal, but he's actually unhappy because of we sold Ekatike, so he's actually unwilling to sign a new deal. So he's playing really well, but he's out of contract at the end of the year. And we've also got Christian coming in the January as well, who's going to play in that position. And we've already got Petrovic. So we're a little bit stuck with 3 players, and I don't really know what to do with them all. Anyway, Darwin Núñez gets on the end of it. This time he's got to be onside. That time he looked onside to me. He smashed it in. That time looked onside. It was onside. It's been given. And we're beating Bayern here in the cup. And looking at this team, a lot of these names were players we played in the league game. So I don't think they've rotated too strongly. Szoboszlai plays it into Zeki Khan. He's brought down. Nothing given. I thought that was a little bit suspect, but referees allowed it. Brown on the left-hand side, cuts back into Leandro Martin, into Escobar. Edge of the box, he's hit the post. How many times are we going to hit this right-hand post? Yeah, still going. But we're looking the much better side, so I'm really happy with this. Really good performance. And I think this shows if we can keep this kind of level of performance up in the league, I think we just need a little bit more consistency. Some days we turn up and we're very good, and then other days it's a little bit of a struggle to get a goal. We concede some soft goals. It's just that we're a little bit inconsistent at the minute, and I do think that is perhaps due to the quality of the team. I think there is, and probably the quality of the bench, because a lot of the poor results have came when some key players have got injured. I think Zeki Khan's very important for us. He's that fullback that just gets you down the line and gets a lot of balls into the box. And there's another example of that. Asana Diao gets on the end of Zeki Khan's cross, and it is 2-0. We're looking good. I'm surprised how well this is going. We are proper playing well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really impressed. And I do think we were a little bit, is this going to be a bit of a failed season when we got off to a start? We were 9th in the table or something. But since then, things have been going really well. And I think it probably just took a little bit for the new boys to gel. Obviously, we'd made a couple signings. It was a new team, new manager, obviously, in the door as well. Sometimes it just takes a little bit. Obviously, there's only a small number of players we'd had from AGF. Literally just the one, isn't it, at the minute? It's just Leandro Martin. Obviously, anyone else we brought in weren't AGF boys, so everyone had to learn this system, had to learn the Gegenpress, and had to learn how we wanted to play. And it's taken a little bit of time, I think, for it to become more consistent. And I still think there's areas of the pitch we can improve. I do think a really good striker would probably have scored more than Núñez has scored. I think someone who's just a bit younger, a bit more mobile would be useful. Bayern whip one in, try to get the equaliser. Well, I've just about done enough to get rid. I don't know how he didn't finish it. It seemed like it was like a yard or two out and didn't convert. I can't get my words out. But thankfully he didn't. We'll make a change. We'll bring Garankuol on the left. And we'll bring Jujul in midfield. I do think a proper ball winner would make a big difference for us. Bayern with the corner whip in. Hassan's got it cleared. Oh, what a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper's a massive one. What is Penders doing there? I think he wasn't even watching it. He wasn't even watching it, and they've just been able to head it back in. He should just be collecting that. He should easily just be collecting that. Or at least making the save. We'll make another sub. We'll bring Petrovic on for Szoboszlai, and we'll leave the rest because everyone else is doing well. I know a couple of the defenders are tired, but I never like subbing defenders when you're holding on to a lead. With the time remaining, we will just lob the time wasting up to max to try and see out the win now. But that was really poor from Penders. We do need another goalkeeper, I think. Centre-backs, yes, we could improve on them, but I actually think both of them are decent, and both of them are quite young, and they've got room to grow. So I'm happy enough for that three, really, to just grow. And then I think we need a really good left-back. I'm kind of happy with the other three, though. I don't think we could I think we could improve on them. Of course we could, but I think there's other areas of the pitch we should be focusing on. Hassan, oh, well, he's tried to get a well, not a consolation goal, whatever you would call it, a goal just to shore up the win, but unfortunately it's not gone in, and Yildirim has a bit of a sloppy pass, and Bayern will try and get themselves forward for this late equaliser, but it's not going to come. We do get the win, 2-1 win over Bayern Munich. We are advancing in the cup. Lovely stuff. That's a good win. That's a big statement win as well. Shows us that we can compete with the best of the best. Leipzig are through. Hopefully we don't get them in the next round. Hopefully we get something a little bit easier and we can not have to show it on the episode. But we did want to show it because it's such a big game. I think, like I say, that's a statement win that. We've let them turn up to the Deutsche Bank Park. Love that name. And we've beat them. So really happy with that. And let's go play Leipzig. Top of the league. Another tough test. They've only lost one all season. Let's try and make it 2. So for our second game of the episode, we are playing Leipzig in the league. And just our luck, I said I didn't want to get Leipzig in the cup. We drew Leipzig in the cup. So in the quarterfinal of the Pokal, we will play Leipzig. The toughest draw we could have got. I mean, looking at what's left, if we beat Leipzig, we're winning the whole thing. But it's just beating Leipzig, but we'll get a taste of it today. We are playing them in the league. We're going to go with the same team that just beat Bayern Munich. We beat them 2-1 very comfortably, so no reason to change. Everyone's fit, everyone's ready, and we are playing a top of the league clash. We are quite a bit points behind these lot. If we just take a look at the league table before things get going. So take away a point, they're on 31, we're on 24. So a win today would put us probably third, and that would put us, 4 points behind them. So if we get a win today, I think we could potentially be back in with a title challenge. I think it was a good start, and then we kind of fell off. But we could still be back in it. Obviously, Bayern Munich would love us to get a win here to stop them from getting it. If they get a win, though, it's quite the gap. It's already quite the gap, and they've got themselves a corner. Oh, they've nearly took an early lead there. It's hit the post. But yeah, if we can get a win today, that puts us right back in the conversation for a title challenge. At least for a challenge, not necessarily saying we're going to win it. And I do think we're probably not good enough to win the league, but I think we can certainly challenge for it. And we should definitely be trying to win anyway because of standards and just trying to get in the top 4. But they do seem like a good side. They play a bit of a weird formation. Oh my God, we are defending for our lives here. Yildirim plays it into Martin, trying to drive us forward. I mean, he's just launched it there. Darwin Núñez is never getting on the end of that. Yeah, these look like a decent side the way they're playing. They do move it quite quickly and quite well, and they do seem to just overload that midfield. Good block. Oh, I thought it was a block. It was just a terrible finish. Yeah, they do seem to... Yeah, look at their formation. It's so narrow and weird, but they just overload the middle, so we need to be careful of that. But we do... Obviously, then on the other side, have a lot of width to play with, don't we? Because they just don't have anyone down the left and right hand side, so they've got to come across. Zeki Khan, long ball into Núñez, doesn't get there, and they do just kind of knock it forward for us to regain possession. But they do seem to really press hard, and we need to be careful of that. And we've nearly fell to it there, but Martin will pick up the interception. Races forward, does Martin? Oh, I thought he'd scored a wonder goal. He did really well to race forward. And, I mean, they're trying to play out from the back and they've let it go. Diao, poor pass. It was a great opportunity for us to catch them on the counter. And now they're going to try and do the same to us. But that was really poor. Yildirim does well to win it back, though. Plays in Szoboszlai. He can find Darwin in the middle. He does! And Darwin finishes. Darwin Núñez gets the goal. And he can't do much more running anymore. But even still, at 34 years of age, he knows where the goal is. He knows where the back of the net is, and he knows how to put it in there. And like I say, that draws us back to 4 points behind them. And if we can start to see them drop off, and we can keep going, we can catch up to Bayern Munich. There's a lot of different variables there, but we're only 13 games in. I think if we win today, we could definitely get ourselves back in a title challenge as long as we can keep this good run going. And we have had a good run so far. We've been doing well. A draw today, not the end of the world, but definitely doesn't get us back within a title challenge, probably more a top 4 challenge. But they do have an effort, and Penders does well to just collect it. I am a little bit worried that the clean sheet is probably not happening today, so we do probably need to get 2 or 3 goals behind us to really shore up a win. So hopefully we can get another one of those in the first half. But Zeki Khan getting down the right-hand side. And this is where I think we're dangerous because they're playing so narrow. They've got to come across to do anything. And there's a lot of space on the width. And we've got there, and Martin should just be shooting. There was an empty net. Escobar picks up the loose ball, tries to get in. He's brought down, but it must have been a fair challenge. Zeki Khan whips in, takes the deflection for a corner. And we've started to score more from corners now, actually. I mean, we haven't committed very many men here, have we? Good God. Whips in anyway. Doesn't find anyone because there's no one there. And we need to make sure we don't get caught on the counter. And Escobar does well to put it out for a throw. But yeah, Martin should have just been shooting there. There was an open net for him if he could have got it. Stats-wise, we're definitely getting beaten. So we have to owe a little bit of help to Penders, who I am actively looking to replace. But he's done well today. Brown whips in the long free kick. Doesn't fall to anyone. And again, we need to be careful of the counter. They seem like they have a very fast team. And we need to be careful of that. But they are a little bit dodgy playing out from the back, so we can also pressure them as well. But they do have a lot of pace, and they can overload the middle, and they've done just that. And they have finished it off. Yüksel Çelik. There's a lot of Turkish players in the Bundesliga now in this save. Don't know why that is. But they've got themselves an equaliser, and that's exactly where you would expect them to do it. Just overloaded the middle. Lots of pace. They move the ball quick. Really struggling with it. You'd think with our two deep line playmakers plus the centre-backs, that would be enough to kind of man-to-man it, but we're definitely getting out played today, so we need to just probably take a draw. We'd be happy with a draw, but we need to turn up a little bit. We are getting a little bit outplayed. Hopefully we can get ourselves another goal and get ourselves back in front, and I don't care if we're the worst team as long as we win, but we are getting a little bit outplayed. They've switched systems. They've actually gone for a bit more width. Weirdly enough, because it was actually working what they were doing. But they've gone wider, so hopefully that will... I mean, that's so poor from Zeki Khan. What is he doing? Who's he trying to pass to there? There was no one there. Thankfully, he's made up for it with a good tackle. But again, Szoboszlai just knocking the ball forward. What are we doing for? Why are we doing that for? There was no real reason to do that. So it's just sloppy. It's a little bit lazy. And it's definitely not the way we want to play. It's not the way we're training to play either, so I don't really know why they're doing it. But they are getting themselves for. I mean, they just commit so many men. We should be catching them on the counter here. But we've got very lucky there because it was a little bit of a... I mean, we're losing the ball so much. Penders does well to collect it. But yeah, I mean, we should be losing this game. We've not turned up really. We need to be careful. We let them in so much. We'll make a change. Yildirim can come off for Garan Kuol. Don't really want to bring anyone else on. We'll bring Petrovic on for Szoboszlai as well because he's a little bit tired. Still not seeing the best of Petrovic. I thought we'd get the best out of him, but not really seeing it so far. If we can get Szoboszlai a new contract and then Christian coming in January, if we can get Szoboszlai on a new contract, then he might be on his way out. If we can't get Szoboszlai in a new contract, then we'll probably just keep him as second choice. Kuol tries to do well, but there's just no one there. We should be following up with stuff like that, and we should be tracking runners. We don't track runners. And in the end, it's an easy goal. The linesman's got his flag up. I didn't think it was offside, but so it's probably going to be 2-1. But it's just poor. We're not tracking runners. Runners picking up the loose ball. I mean, it is offside, so thankfully we've got away with it. Like I say, I'd be happy with the draw now because we just haven't turned up today. We're really struggling. I think they're obviously a good side, but it's just the way they play I think we're struggling with. We'll bring Juju on. We will also bring Earlbrecht on. I think we just need some runners. And we'll bring Hayden Earon on as well for Zeki Khan. Hopefully, like I say, get some fitness because we're struggling, I think, with their pace. Down the middle into Martin. Plays it out wide to Earon, who's racing forward. Good for Earon. Plays it into Garan Kuol. If he can find an option in the middle, he does. Oh, Petrovic, you should be scoring. That's the ones, though. That's the goals that Szoboszlai has been scoring. He scored like 1 or 2 wonder goals. But other than that, they've all been like little tap-ins like that. We have to do better than that. We're not going to get many chances against this lot. Petrovic has to be scoring that. He's got to be scoring that. It's literally a yard or two out. He's just got to direct it in. He doesn't. It remains 1-1. Like I say, given the way the game's gone, I'll be happy to take a draw from this. Definitely. I do think they've probably got a winner in them, though. If we could find the winner, though, that would be a hell of a result. Zuzul, just sloppy, man. No, runners. Not tracking runners. I mean, how many chances have these lads missed? They'll be sick to death if they don't win this because they've missed so many good opportunities. Zazul very sloppy in the middle there. And there's a few minutes of added time. We've got the highlight, but it's back with our goalkeeper. Penders just launches it up. We're just about to get there, but I mean, that looked like a foul to me. He's gone through the back of him. Toro racing through, getting a little bit tight there, thinking they were going to score a late winner, but thankfully, again, just wasteful in front of goal. And in the end, it is a 1-1 draw, and I think we've got to be lucky with that, to be honest. We got away with that a little bit. Yeah, not really good enough from our perspective, though. We were definitely outplayed. So that probably just shows maybe there's a bit of a gap still between us and the top teams, but like I said, I think we can improve on it. Their system, I don't like it. I couldn't play this. A 4-2-2 DM AM narrow. Hideous. It's just so awful. They've scored a ton of goals. So the fact that they didn't score against us, we've got a little bit lucky today. This guy was very good. He's barely scored. So, he looks really. I think they've got a very good side, very quick. It didn't even seem that quick. They just moved the ball very quickly. Yeah, I don't know. Well, he looks quick. Anyway, we won't overanalyze their squad. So a draw does, it's a 7-point gap. So it's going to be tough, but there's only 3 teams out of the 13 not allow them to take full points. So we've probably got away with it a little bit today. We probably should have lost that one, but we're only on the 2 losses. We've actually lost less than Bayern Munich, so I think we're doing okay. Like I say, we are still a good gap away from the top teams, but we're back in the top 4, or we're in the top 4, which is where we need to be. So yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll come back for the end of January. I think we'll play AEK Athens. We'll play Leipzig again in the quarterfinal. So we'll have our last Europa League game. Or maybe we'll play what we'll do is we'll play Hertha Berlin, do this one off camera, and then we'll do Leipzig. Hertha Berlin in the league, Leipzig in the cup. And then we'll do any kind of January transfer wrap-up stuff. So we'll play the games in between, just about 7 or so league games, couple Europa League, and then we'll come back for Hertha Berlin. So, 6 league games, 2 Europa Leagues, come back for Hertha Berlin and Leipzig. So that'll do it for this episode. I'll see you all for the next one. We'll play Hertha Berlin, Leipzig, and do any January transfers that come in. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the European Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.